Hello there, I'm Black Bright News and I wanted to tell you what happened to me yesterday. So I've got exactly 10 minutes, so I'm going to read from my script as I normally do because it makes it concise and clear. So I fell down 15 flights of stairs. Let me tell you what happened to me yesterday morning because it's taught me something about danger, about instinct, about the people we rely on, and about the places in our homes we take for granted. Started at 5 a.m. I woke up to use the loo, half asleep, foggy, the world still dark. Afterwards I decided, as we all do sometimes, to go downstairs, get a glass of water, and jot down a little burst of inspiration I'd woken up with before it slipped away. Completely ordinary, familiar. My toilet is right at the top of the staircase. Those stairs are a part of my daily life. I walk them 1,000 times, up and down, half awake, half distracted. So without thinking, I didn't turn on the light. I didn't want to wake my partner, and I assumed arrogantly, maybe, that my feet would simply know the way. And that was my first mistake. As I stepped out from the bathroom, still in the dark, I reached forward with my foot, and instead of finding the solid middle of the step, it caught the edge. That thin lip where balance ends and gravity begins. Before I could even process the mistake, I was tumbling. Not 2 steps, not 5 steps, but 15 hard wooden steps. My upper back took the full impact as I slammed and rolled my way down. When I finally hit the bottom, I couldn't breathe properly. I could only gasp, my back, because it felt as though my chest had collapsed inwards. My partner burst out of the bedroom, panicked but steady. One of those people who springs instantly into action. Because of his medical background, he assessed me quickly. The look on his face told me he was worried. He said it might be blunt trauma or that I could have shifted a vertebrae pressing on my organs. His voice was calm, but I could hear the fear underneath. I was in shock. My brain confused to make decisions. I just felt frightened, really frightened. He helped guide me to the living room floor, laid down a blanket and eased me onto it. I asked him for some Tiger Balm. A strange request in the moment, but when you're frightened, you cling on to what you know. Then I grabbed my phone and Googled, what do you do if you have blunt trauma? Ice, rest, monitor chest pain. And that's what I did. So I used an ice pack, I waited. I tried a hot bath, hoping warmth would help. It did, but only slightly. Every time I stood up, I felt that horrible pressure on my chest, that invisible hand pushing forward. Something wasn't right. By 8 a.m. I knew I couldn't go into work, so I informed my line manager. Then I called the GP, or at least I tried to. Pages of questions, clicking yes, no, sometimes filling out symptoms, only to be told at the very end, I need to call the surgery. So, when I did call the surgery, the receptionist told me repeatedly, robotically almost, that her manager said I must go to A&E. She couldn't deviate from that script, no matter what I explained. No assessment, no alternative, just repetition. I've worked in a call hub myself. I know the script. I know what it's like to be told, do not deviate. But in that moment, it was frustrating. All I wanted was a clinical voice to tell me whether I truly needed emergency care. Eventually, I realised I wasn't going to get that clarity, so I called 999. The operator took my details and told me rapid response would call me back, but from a withheld number. My phone blocks unknown callers, another complication, another moment of panic. I struggled to find the setting. Google wasn't helping. It seemed to be referring to older iPhone versions. After about 20 minutes of fumbling and pure luck, I switched the setting off, and 10 minutes later, rapid response called. They were warm, patient, they listened, but they also told me the truth. The ambulance at that time of day would be a 12-hour wait. I explained that I couldn't move safely when they asked me to get to the hospital myself. My back simply wouldn't allow it. They understood, immediately upgraded the call. Within an hour, the ambulance arrived. And the paramedics, I'm telling you, I have nothing but praise for them. Calm, professional, human. They checked me carefully, did an ECG, took my vitals, and after assessing me, said I needed to go to hospital. They gave me gas and air for the pain, and off we went. My partner was terrified for me because of my age. He worried, as many people do, that once I entered hospital, I might not come back out. You hear stories, rumours, you hear that older people are viewed as burdens. He didn't want me disappearing into a system that might overlook me. I reassured him, but I could see it in his eyes. He was scared. He packed me an overnight bag, held my hand before they shut the ambulance doors, and he was allowed to accompany me in the ambulance. At the hospital, from the moment we arrived, it felt different from the chaos I remembered. The service was smooth, the staff attentive, blood tests, cannula, CT request. Everything moved relatively quickly. And then came the next part, the CT scan. My partner wanted to be with me, of course he did, but he wasn't allowed. Not in the room, not in the gallery, nowhere. They told him it was policy, and it was because CT scanners emit ionizing radiation, but he didn't know that. He was aware of radiation with the X-rays, but not with the CT scan. That room is no place for anyone who isn't medically necessary. The rule isn't cruel, it's safety. But in that moment, he felt helpless, and he felt alone. The CT scan came back clear, no fractures, no internal injuries. My bloods were good too. Relief washed over me like warm water. How many people fall on stairs and never walk the same again, or never walk again at all? How many families receive phone calls far worse than the calls we made that morning? I don't know if it was the carpet padding, I don't know if it was luck. All I know is that something protected me, and for me, that something was God. What this taught me was falling down those 15 stairs. It taught me something vital. We underestimate the dangers in our own homes. We think stairs are safe because they're familiar, but familiarity breeds carelessness. I didn't turn on the light. I didn't pause to orient myself. I didn't respect the risk. And I'm telling this story because so many falls happen exactly this way. Small moments, tiny decisions, ordinary actions with consequences that can last a lifetime. It taught me empathy too, for frontline call staff stuck in rigid scripts, for overworked GPs trying to manage impossible demand, for ambulance crews balancing compassion with urgency, and it reminded me of something I will never forget. Love is a safety net that no hospital, no government policy, no health system can replicate. My partner's presence, his worry, his care, that mattered. Professionals kept me safe, but he kept me grounded. I'm sharing this so maybe someone else waking up half asleep at 5 a.m. turns the light on. 46% of accidental deaths in the UK resulted from falls. Falls from stairs every 90 seconds, according to admissions data. 879 deaths in England and Wales are from falls on or from steps each year. And when it's not death, there are hip fractures, head injuries, trauma, mobility loss, loss of independence, and other serious injuries. So I want to leave you with a few simple things. I've started paying attention to myself. First, I make sure the stairs at home are well lit. Half the accidents happen because you simply can't see properly. I also try not to carry too much at once. It only takes one block step to throw you off balance. And I've learned to slow down. No more running up and down the stairs just because I'm in a rush. And lastly, if you live with children or anyone unsteady on their feet, secure handrails and clear steps make a massive difference. So I hope this incident, I'm glad I'm here to talk to you today. It could have been so different. But like I said, God was there for me. and I'm here to tell the